A former Georgia warehouse worker for the Augusta National Golf Club was sentenced to 1 year in prison Wednesday. I believe this past Wednesday. This article came out on March 20th. So it would have been last Wednesday. For transporting millions of dollars worth of stolen Masters tournament memorabilia, including one of Arnold Palmer's iconic green jackets.
Damn.
Richard Glebensky, who is 40, banana for scale, male, pleaded guilty last year to one count of transporting stolen goods across state lines. He appeared Wednesday in court. Let's see. He deeply regrets the decision. Yeah, I mean, how can you not?
Yeah, do you deeply regret your decision, or do you deeply regret getting caught?
Yeah, true. Let's see. Under the sentence, he will also have to pay more than $3 million in restitution and face 1 year of supervised release.
Jesus.
Let's see. So Glebensky took items from the warehouse for sellers in Florida, who then sold them online. Florida-Georgia line. He was crossing the Florida-Georgia line to sell all this shit. Kind of could be a conspiracy mixed in there. Who were the guys from Florida? Was it the Florida guy from the line between Florida? Anyway, the Florida sellers then sold them online at a markup. Glebensky was paid through a limited liability company set up in his wife's name, among other ways. The scheme lasted for more than a decade, earning him over $5 million. The guy was just swiping Masters merch, and he didn't even have to go through the selling part. Like all he had to do was throw a couple in his truck here, throw a couple in his truck. I mean, that's the most risky part right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. He would secretly photograph items and send them to a Florida-based seller. Glebensky would then sneak out items that they were interested in, taking small quantities to avoid the risk of Augusta's auditing practices. Prosecutors say the money was used to fund a luxurious lifestyle, including $370,000 to buy vehicles and a boat, $160,000 for Disney themed vacations.
Oh man.
And
these fucking Disney adults, dude.
And $32,000 for items at Louis Vuitton. So to say that Glebensky is royally fucked is kind of an understatement. The items, which were sold between 2009 and 2022, included such historic memorabilia as tickets to Masters tournaments in the 1930s. As well as t-shirts, mugs, chairs. Among the stolen legendary green jackets were those won by Arnold Palmer, Ben Hogan, and Gene Sarazen.
Wow.
Sarazen. Some of the stolen goods were recovered in the Chicago area, which is why the court case was at the downtown courthouse. So
that's
I don't know how exactly
crazy.
He got caught. But like it, so all this, I'm sure the plot sounded great in theory. And if he would have stopped maybe a couple years sooner, or maybe he only did it for a year, not condoning any of this, but just to be a little bit smarter, like all good things have to come to an end. And unfortunately, Glebensky's end was prison.
Yeah, for a year.
And having to pay back $3 million in restitution.
Dude, if he's stealing like merch and shit, where did you get that Masters hat you have?
Alan gave that to me.
Where do you think he got it?
I don't know, but it was, I'm assuming they're selling used stuff or new stuff, like brand new.
Oh, no. It sounds like he'd be stealing it out of the warehouse storage. It's got to be like merch from way back in the day.
But it's still new. I would assume it's like stuff that didn't sell or.
Gotcha.
This hat was used, so someone might have bought
you could be an accomplice on accident.
I could, or maybe like I could, I don't know, file for damages or something. Like this hat.
You say you were a victim. I didn't want a stolen hat.
No, I wanted a new hat. You had something, Noah?
Yeah, there's not a ton of details on how he got caught. It just basically said that like a piece of the memorabilia was seized outside of some Chicago home, and then I'm sure that person probably just snitched and said where they got it from.
Damn, there's always a rat in the plot.
And it says here too, like if he wasn't stealing like important parts of history memorabilia, he probably would have got away with it.
Yeah, if he was stealing like hats and polos and shit.
So obviously we're not talking like millions of dollars, but he probably could have been making a nice little side hustle and got away with it.
Yeah.
So
Got greedy, dude. I bet it started with him just stealing unused merch.
Oh, probably. And then like once you see the money start coming in, like and you're now living the lifestyle of someone with that amount of money, like you have to be able to sustain that.
Yeah, dude. Stealing the green jackets themselves is fucking ballsy. You got the cojones on that man to be stealing green jackets.
You'd think they'd have those locked up somewhere.
They did in a warehouse that he worked at.
But why are they
a trusted employee?
You'd think they'd have them like in a case.
Right. That is the thing that surprises me the most, that they're not in like a display case.
what's funny about this too is, so he made millions, right?
Mm-hmm.
He made around $5 million selling truckloads of relatively low value merchandise, but just $300,000 for all of like the memorabilia, like the 3 green jackets.
So he was making more money off of the little shit.
He would, yeah, so like what I just said a second ago, he just fucked himself over by
getting greedy and for an extra $300K.
For way less, like considerably than.
Surprises me that an Arnold Palmer green jacket goes for less than $300,000.
Well, that was Arnold Palmer, Ben Hogan, and Gene Sarazen.
That was for all of the memorabilia.
Wow.
The 3 green jackets, the trophy, the tickets, and the letters, and it says other items. So
the money was in the merch, and he got greedy and went for the big stuff, even though I think maybe he got a little addicted to it. Maybe we got a little klepto on our hands.
I think you definitely do, because it becomes easy. So you're like, why don't I just keep doing this?
Yeah. But like, there's clearly no monetary value in him upping the item. Like, he was making more money stealing hats and t-shirts. There was no other reason for stealing the green jackets other than maybe, I don't know, I could be wrong, but other than him thinking like, I wonder if I could.
Yeah.
Oh, the FBI was on this. That when that jacket was sold, that was a sting operation, I guess.
No shit.
So he got let go in 2021, and what he claimed to be like a post-COVID, whatever termination, and it just says that then like the FBI got in on this because there were just reports made, I'm sure, of missing shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a sting operation. So I'm sure he like had all this stuff at his place.
Would be a great would be a great docuseries.
Yeah, I would like to. I don't want a documentary. I want them to do a movie of it, a biopic.
It sounds like they totally could. The way that it's so Hollywood. Like, sold millions of dollars worth of shit and like is so close to getting away with it, but is like, I gotta sell this last. Yeah,
you've got 2 main characters. Jackets. You can tweak the story a little bit to make this Augusta employee been slighted in some way, and he's doing this as some sort of revenge tour. And then you also have a POV main character from the FBI noticing this and picking up on it and being like, I can solve this.
And like the opening scene of the movie could be like him getting ready to sell one of the green jackets, and then they like the FBI or whatever, like obviously they present themselves, and then him just running away down a hill trying to put the green jacket on, and then tripping and getting absolutely pummeled by the FBI. So,
and then it pauses, record scratches, and goes, "Yep, that's me."
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's go back.
That's all I got for this week, guys. See you next week.
Love you.
Love you all.
Love you.